Hey everybody, so I've got the Super Grant here, or what I've called the Super Grant. There's a reason that I'm calling this the Super Grant. Well, it has the final revision of this mod that I've been working on. I don't know, when did I start working on it? October? Beginning of October. This particular one at least. You know, off and on, maybe an hour here, an hour there. So, there it is. And I forgot to plug the power pack in. Well, when I flashed new software onto it. This is one I've been using in my car. And I brought it in to flash new firmware. I got as far as taking the covers off and unsoldering the speaker and unplugging the power so that I could take the board, take it and plug the USB cable into it to update the firmware. Time to do the video. So that's the board. That's the radio. I'll just fire the radio up real quick since it has been flashed. We will we'll probably need a speaker for the moment as well. So here's the radio. I don't know why it's all the way up there, but yeah, the radio gets a shit pile of channels, as you can see. I'll get into that. Anyway, so we got noise. Anyways, the software aspects of it. Obviously, other than changing channels, we have a menu. So if I long press the button, that turns on the noise toys, the Roger beeps. And I've currently got 6 rather creative ones in there. One of them, believe it or not, is just a beep, and the rest of them are wholesome and annoying, and that's by request. So we won't turn any of those on. We have scan, on or off. And then last but not least, we have like a favorite channel, which is set to -79, which is like 26 something. But let's say I wanted to set it to the Super Bowl. And it's flashing to tell you that that's what you're doing. Because otherwise you would think it's a channel display and like changing the channel, but wait a minute, it's not changing the channel, you know what I mean? So we just confirm that setting and okay, I'm dueling around. Now I want to go back to that channel. I just push the button and it goes back to it. That's just like it's one memory. I am going to try to implement more memories, as a software update. And the reason for that is, or my thought is somehow to incorporate the microphone. Because if the microphone, believe it or not, is another button to this. So I could incorporate the somehow the microphone to as another button. And maybe a combination, push this, and squeeze the microphone to go into a sort of memory mode where you set your various memory channels, and then you can only turn the dial between them. That was sort of the thought. But anyway, that's something to figure out how to implement. But that will be in a software update. So that's basically it. Not a hell of a lot going on there. I don't have an antenna in it, but yeah, the hash. If I wanted to turn on the scan, for example, so we'll turn on the scan. We don't want the beep. We'll go by that. Turn on the scan. We'll go confirm that. We'll leave that alone. We have to go through the menus. So we still have our hash. We close the squelch. Start scanning, and very quickly too. It'll cover the whole thing in 30 seconds, give or take. So that's basically it. So now the hardware, which is probably the thing that most people are interested in. How does it work? What's it doing? There's the board. We got a board. We got a display, which has the LED display, the encoder. They can be broken apart and separated. So if it put it in one of these radios, well, display goes one place, encoder goes another. These are just connectors. So just regular old IDC connectors, ribbon cable. So nothing special there. Sometimes you may need to shield it with some metallic tape, depending on how far away it is. This is kind of a long cable, which is why it's shielded. Ideally, you want this cable as short as possible. In fact, having it that long is probably ideal. But sometimes reality is the thing that catches up with us, and that's because the display driver simply can't go up on the display and fit in the radio, or at least in these radios. In other radios, it could possibly fit, because there's room on the board or there's room in the area to do it, but not this one. So, how do we get, because I'm sure that's a burning question already, how in the world do you get so many channels on there? Well, there's a PLL adapter with another chip on it and so on and so forth, and some support for that. You don't have to have that, and in some radios that's not possible because it doesn't exist yet. At least I haven't constructed it, or it's unnecessary. 858s, O2As, it's unnecessary to do that. PLLs will pretty much stand on their own and kill an 8719 radio, which is what this is. 8719, 127 channels, that's it. This, I can get a hell of a lot more. The edges the radio receive, transmit, suck, but it works. It's just pretty much a user discretion as far as what they want. You know, do not operate in 10 meters without a license kind of thing. So that's basically all there is to that. So of course, the more burning questions is, I thought you were going to put this on GitHub when you're done. Well, it's done. The final rev. There's no more to be done. Pretty much just have the board house make more of them. You know, of which I have more here. I have more to stuff. I got 10 initial run of 10 boards. These are not prototypes. They're the real deal. I've already done, what is this one, and I got a pile of them over here. They're already done, as you can see. So, yep, I got a bunch. I'm just waiting for one more connector, which is why this one's soldered in, because otherwise it would there would be a real harness going over to the mic connector instead of that, you know, bodge ribbon cable. So, to answer those questions, and this is the part that's I've tried to rehearse this. I've tried to think about what I wanted to say, but this is the most uncomfortable part of this for me, because I really did want to put this up as an open source thing, open source hardware and all that kind of stuff, and I still might do something that way. But right now I'm not going to do that, and this is why. Okay, starting in the beginning of 2016, we're at the end of 2016 now, but at the beginning of 2016, I started getting, you know, various forms of harassment. I got calls to my the companies I work for. I got email threats and harassment, and all of it revolved around, don't do anything, stop working on this, you don't need to work on this because there's already other ones out there, yours sucks. And it's just all this, you know, dribble, and you know, if you keep working on it, we're going to come and we're going to rough you up, and all kinds of other just ridiculous, childish stuff. Comments on, you know, on YouTube that I've had to just completely obliterate because, you know, I've either had other YouTubers attacked, which I will not tolerate, or I've been, you know, attacked, and, you know, what do they call it? Doxing, where they, you know, throw your information out there. I don't know. I'm not into the kid stuff, but anyway, you know, it's just like it's like you know, for lack of a better way to put it, you know, romper room, you know, just childish stuff. But the one thing, and I really just dealt with it and ignored it. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't really care. It just didn't bother me because it, you know, the work thing didn't pan out. It just laughed. Pretty much it was funny. In fact, one of my coworkers called it me getting thunderfooted because apparently there's a guy called Thunderfoot that did the same thing to him. He's like a university professor or something like that. I really don't particularly care for his particular brand of politics. You know, but that said, it just turned into a sort of a fun joke. But so about 3 weeks maybe. In fact, it was between this revision and the revision that is in this JCPenney right here, which was the last rev, and this was the test radio for that. And there's the last rev. Between this one and this one, in fact, it was when I was making that one, or making the changes to come up with this one, that from the information from this one, you know, the one mistake that it had, because it only had one issue, just to improve layout and just stuff like that. I got for lack of, just to be succinct, literally a dead squirrel with a note put on my front doorstep with so that my wife and my kid found it when they left the house that one morning, and there was the screaming and me bolting from one side of the house to the other to see what in the hell's wrong and what had happened, and just to see this dead squirrel and a note, and it was just like, okay, it's getting real now. That's when I decided, you know what, hell with it. They don't want these things out there, whoever it is, because I don't know who it is. They don't want this out there so bad, or somebody's trying to defend somebody's honor. It's going to go out there. So there it is. Message received. Not the result you probably, whoever it is, wanted, whomever. So whoever it is, they have to be reasonably close to me to show up. Anyways, so, yes, there are more. I got more right here. I'm just waiting for a connector. These are basically earmarked. But that doesn't mean that I don't have more. Here they are. I screwed up and didn't get a stencil with them, which is why I've been hand stuffing them, because I didn't get a stencil. So I'm not baking them, which is taking me a little bit longer, but that's okay because the next batch I'll have a stencil. Anyway, so there you have it. So if you got this far, and you're interested, you see my name, you put Gmail at the end of it, my YouTube name rather, you put Gmail at the end of it and you let me know, and I'll point you in a direction. Yeah. There's nothing really else to say. So yeah, it's here. You can get one. I still would really like to go through a little bit more field testing. That's just me. That's just because, my overly cautious nature, the fact that I've been in this business a long time and I've seen absolute ridiculous stuff come up. Even though everything in here, I have no problems. I have no problems personally. Somebody will have some weird situation somewhere that'll have to be remedied. But that's why I'm just, experience tells me that there'll be some kind of kooky problem. But that said, it shouldn't be, insurmountable. But if you're interested, let me know. Point you in a direction. And as always, there's several people out there that have really supported me through this, and just great stand-up people. There's a lot of great people out there. A lot of you guys that watch these videos are great people. Support's great. I don't make any money doing this. I mean, I've even had some of you guys who come to me and say, well, you should turn on like the YouTube monetization. I don't even do that. I make enough money in my day job. This is really this was meant for just my own personal thing, just to have fun. And it had to get turned into, some kind of little stupid war, which I really wasn't interested in. So, I'm going to put it out there. They didn't want it out there. It is now. But I, it's one of those things. This was an uncomfortable thing for me to talk about. So, I apologize again. It's here. And again, thanks for everybody who has given me the support. You guys are the greatest. So, thanks again. Thanks for watching, and let the fun begin. So, I hope that these things are that people can use them and people can enjoy them, and get more out of the radios and keep a stock look, because that's all I was really ever after, is the stock look. I didn't want these switches to do anything differently. So I think I've achieved that goal, and now that I have achieved that goal, I can move on to the next big thing. And believe me, I think I've only talked to one other person about what I want to do next, and it's pretty much a give it a shot. What have you got to lose? So that'll probably be the next thing. That I'll as soon as I got more bits and pieces together to start working on that. In fact, I'm waiting on some more pieces. So that'll be the next interesting project to show, and the next interesting project to make videos on. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, thanks again. Appreciate it. And if you're interested, just let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.